I'm Yuri.
I'm Jacob.
And we're going for a drive. '24 plug-in hybrid CX90.
Without launch control.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. A little vibratey though.
It sounds all right too. Horsepower and torque.
323 horsepower, 369 pound-feet of torque from a 2.5 liter four-cylinder plug-in hybrid. Ooh, that was slow.
I like the pumped-in audio, and then let me go to full EV mode because this can do about 42 kilometers just electric.
Yeah.
What's that in miles? 26?
Yes, I believe it's 26. And it's not dead silent.
All the way to the kickdown pedal, still electric, kickdown. And then the sides go, wow, throws it into normal, gives some gas, which is a slow transition.
A very slow transition.
But I feel like with those cool graphics on the side, it's like...
It helps.
And this isn't a sports car.
No, it's not. The inline six-cylinder does exist, so you can get that as well.
So I guess a lot of this video is going to be deciding at the end, would we rather take the Phev or the inline six?
Yeah, we should probably let you guys know by the end.
So first thing I want to mention about this is the looks of it. We are stuck with plastic cladding in the Phev, no matter how you option it out.
And this is the top trim in Canada, the GT, and in the States it's the Premium Plus.
Okay, you can still get the cool artisan red, whatever, in this.
Yeah.
I still think it looks better all color matched, but I think I like the white more than I like the artisan red.
I definitely like this color more than the red.
Oddly enough.
Yeah, this looks good.
I really like the looks. Everything looks, besides that, pretty much the same. No the exhaust tips at the back or anything.
And the inline or six badge is replaced with a Phev badge on the front fenders.
A little chrome at the bottom. A lot of stuff looks cool, and these wheels are also really, really cool too.
They are, like, really nice.
And what's that Continental recommended tire for the CX90?
The Cross Contact LX Sport.
And I guess on this one we also have two fuel doors.
Yes, one for the battery fuel and one for the gas fuel.
Okay, so do you mind like the bulbousness of the back end, or are you kind of used to it? Like I'm kind of used to it.
I'm kind of used to it, but I still notice it.
When it gets pointed out, I'm like, it does look a little awkward, but like.
And when we say bulbousness, we're talking about like the rear C pillar,
the rear three-quarter, how it looks.
Pillar, whatever
Mazda 3 hatch-ish.
Yes.
But yeah, still, I think it looks good.
But ripping away, does this still look BMW-like?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Maybe even better.
Yes, in the white.
So now the most important part to me about this plug-in hybrid, not handling through cliche corner, it is the plug-in hybridness. So I brought it home. I don't have my electrical in my house upgraded yet. I'm gonna get like the service done to go like 240 or whatever it is. I plugged that charger that came with it into my wall, and it just click, 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 pop the thing.
Just wouldn't charge.
It wouldn't even like hold being plugged into the thing. Yeah, so.
I've had that problem at my old house with extension cord, but I know you weren't using an extension cord.
And for me, I think almost every other car has worked at my house, just with like the one that comes with. So you need to account for that if you're gonna buy one. And if you're gonna buy one, hit up tsp.truecar.com.
Discounted price offers.
Maybe get the inline six, use the comparison tool instead, I don't know.
Yeah, or just take the charger home first, plug it in, see if it'll work.
Yeah, like the dealer's gonna let you do that. I mean, that is like a valid point, because you actually might get stranded, like say you need to like plug quickly at someone's cottage. The cottage might be like, no.
Yeah.
Not CX90.
Because this can charge on a regular outlet in approximately 6 hours. So like you can charge your car at home overnight, like pretty much no problem, from 20 to 80%. And then if you go to a level 2, 220 or 240 or whatever, then it's about 1 hour, which is very good.
But we did go to Flow, and it was giving us a 2-hour thing to charge, and I was like, oh, that kind of sucks.
Yeah, and like, we were below the threshold or whatever, but yeah, it just took a lot longer.
Okay, now back in EV mode.
It's nice. It's got this like hum.
Yeah. It's nice. It's pleasant, and like 42 kilometers I think is enough range for me to do all the things I usually do in the city. My only question is, if I need heat, does that kick on the engine to send heat my way, right? So like if I want to do a 20-kilometer trip in the winter, it's going to kick on my gas engine anyways to heat up the fluids to send heat inside, so I'm still running a motor anyways?
I'm not sure.
Exactly. I'll ask the Mazda guys.
Here's the text of the Mazda guy's answer for you.
And it's also very clear to see how much electric range you have and gas range.
Yeah, you got your battery tank.
Yeah, your battery, yeah.
Like it is actually like physically displayed like that.
Okay, and say I need to save my electrical for later, I can push this button up here and that'll do a charge target, which I can click and then choose where I want it to charge to while driving. So I've got that set to 100, and when you do that, then you're in normal mode or whatever, and it's putting some power back in, which I found works a lot better on the highway, but also like still pretty slow in general.
And I have to say, this is probably the most intuitive way of displaying all this information out of probably any manufacturer. Like you press that button and you're like, okay, what charge do you want? It's so simple.
Yeah, I very happy with it.
Yeah.
Especially how confusing like the Toyotas were.
Well, exactly.
With like 30 different options.
HV, HEV, H this V.
EV, and then if you hold it, it goes to like a secret charge mode.
Yeah, there's just, yeah.
And then normal gauge cluster right now, we just have charge, power, I don't have attack.
Yeah, you got to go to sport mode to get attack.
All right, everything goes red. I'm in sport mode. I'm going to keep traction control on because maybe that helps with going through a little bit of cliche corner.
And taking this bump, super nice.
And I'm going to stay in drive. You do paddles through Klitschy.
Okay, oh yeah, body roll, but then it hooks up. There we go.
It moves a lot.
It does.
But it turns. It friggin' turns. Imagine having like a full load of like 3 rows.
Yeah, so it is rear biased all-wheel drive, and the way that it sends the power to the back, you can see the whole thing moving around, and like it's just all over the place in like the best, funniest way possible.
It's really entertaining. And then also back to the EV stuff, we do have 2 modes of regen. We can go lots or normal.
Okay.
Well, I don't think it's called lots. I think it's called something else.
Sure. How do you get into those?
Yeah, it's through the infotainment, through the rotor dial, and all that stuff.
Oh, so it's not actually like through paddles
No,
or through a bus.
if you go home and then if you go to settings and then you go to EV settings, then you have your regenerative braking mode high.
Ah, okay, so you have
high
to
and
permanently
normal,
set it.
not lots and normal. All right, your turn.
Sick. Sport traction off launch control. Doesn't have it. Actually, you know what? You did a launch. I'm just going to floor it. Oh,
Hey,
that was better. It has this vibration at low RPM though.
That's moving.
Like, I feel like when the EV is doing its EV thing, like watch, I'll do it again, just this vibration at super low speed. There we go.
Yeah.
Right there.
It's just stuff,
Kind of
it's just
loud.
stuff moving.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't mind it all. I like the power.
I definitely don't like that. That doesn't feel very luxurious to me. But again, Mazda's a normal brand. I called it an affordable brand in the last video, and everyone got like really mad at me. So, anyways, it's not a luxury brand, is what I'm saying. Yeah. It's an affordable brand. It's normal.
Still take it over a bunch of Lexuses.
There's things to be had over this and this over other things. But let's send it into cliche corner with the paddles. So this has the 8-speed auto. It is not a dual clutch. It's a multi-play clutch. And I do find that it seems to be better in this car, and it does definitely handle pretty damn
better
good.
Better in this car than what?
Hang on. Oh yeah, that rear bias is nice. Yeah.
Better in this car than the inline 6.
Yes. So the inline 6-cylinder, we had like weird issues with the 8-speed auto where like you'd come to a stop and then you'd stop, and it wouldn't be smooth. This, because of the EV-ness, it takes over at the low speeds, so you don't really feel those weird transitions. It's really nice, actually.
So, like, this was probably the priority when they built it, and then they're like, throw the inline 6 in. But
it kind of feels like that for the transmission tuning.
When you pop the hood and lift the cover, like, this takes up so much less room up there.
Okay, so this, seeing the engine back there, it looks like it's technically behind the front axle, so this is a mid-engine vehicle.
However, if the electric motor is at the front above.
Well, it doesn't look like it is, though.
Does that make it?
Yeah. I don't know.
The rules have changed.
Anyways, this looks like it's a mid-engine front layout, but yeah, pretty cool. So, steering is also really good. Suspension's really good. No complaints about any of that stuff. This, honestly, for some reason, I don't know if it's the seats or the material of the seats, it feels better than sitting in that inline 6-cylinder. For some reason, I'm more comfortable in this.
You don't hit your knee on the thing still?
No, absolutely not, like I did in the CX-9. And then we also don't have that like suede pattern on the dash. We have this leather material.
Much more livable material.
And I like that. Yeah, you can clean it easier.
You can also get a white interior, which looks nice, but this feels way more like utility than like luxury, right?
Yes, and you can't get that like nice same inline 6-cylinder material that we had on the Signature.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's like weird concessions you have to make because this is still the top trim, and shocker, it's actually priced pretty much the same as the inline 6-cylinder top trim as well.
Okay, other cool stuff. No piano black, except for like these.
That's okay. No, that's totally fine. This is great.
Hard buttons for your climate. How sick is that?
Yeah, it's really good. We also have heated and cooled seats and a heated steering wheel as well.
Rotary dial to control everything, and you can touch the Apple CarPlay if you change the setting for just Apple CarPlay, so that's nice.
Yeah, while you're driving.
Apparently not on the Phev version. We've got Tune Mix, Sirius XM.
Yeah, and then we have a bunch of drive modes down here. We got Sport, Normal, EV, and Off-Road. And then we also have that charge mode that Yuri said. The shifter I still don't love. It's just a little bit weird to get into park, but you'll eventually get used to that. And then we also have our button down here for our cameras.
Yeah, okay, so the cameras in this. I love it because when I back out of my driveway, I've got a fence on one side, and last thing I want is have a kid like run by on a little bicycle or something as I'm backing up. This lets you go like full 180 degrees so I can see both sides of the sidewalk, and you can also change that to a more narrow view in the infotainment. A lot of other cars we drive, like the Aria that we recently drove, you can't have that full wide. So like not having a full wide reverse camera would be a little bit of a deal breaker for me if it was like a family car.
Right. And then the 360 camera is just a little bit small as well, but it is, like Yuri says, accurate, and he likes it.
Yeah, I actually kind of prefer the 360 camera in my CX-5 for some reason. I'm just more used to it, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you said the steering was great. This doesn't have lane centering.
Yeah, and you can't get it because this is the top trim, so that's a little bit odd.
But it's got adaptive cruise, and I like my Mazdas where I steer the wheel myself, or my Mazdas, whatever they're.
And then this also being the plug-in hybrid with the 4-cylinder, you tow less. You can only tow up to 3,500 pounds, whereas if you get the inline 6 with the special package or whatever, you get 5,000 pounds of towing, so slightly less jet skis with this one.
And like all Mazdas, if you put premium fuel in it, you get a little more horsepower.
Also, they say premium, but they write 93. That's like real
that's
premium.
Really premium.
Yeah, it's not 91. Yeah, I found that a little bit interesting as well. So those horsepower numbers that I said at the beginning of the video are actually on 93 octane.
Which nobody who reviews cars fills up with.
Yeah, like that's like what the Corvette Z06 is tuned on after we messed with it.
Full EV launch.
Okay, already in EV now. No kickdown. It's shifting gears because it's on the.
I don't know what was happening, but it's cool.
It's shifting gears because the motor is between the transmission and the engine. So it's actually shifting real gears.
Is that faster than the Polestar 1 full EV mode?
It felt like it. Interesting.
I can't run anymore since my sciatica and I tore my calf, so we'll never know. So now to the back of the car. Middle row is pretty comfy for us to sit in.
Yeah, and then we have peasant blockers, which are fantastic.
We don't have that center thing that we had in the other CX-90.
That's right, I believe.
And then the back row, a little tight.
Yeah.
But like doable.
It's okay, not great for me.
In the trunk space, with all the seats up, we do have both our carry-ons and a bunch of other film equipment, which is good. We got grocery hangers back there and proper like AC power with the 3 plugs, which might be why, since it's got so much power output, it wouldn't take power from the house.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And with this entire black interior, a set of TuxMat would suit this car extremely well.
Oh yeah, if you're gonna have kids and stuff back here, like the amount of crumbs and cookies and cookies and cookies, snacks and cookies and cheese.
Yeah. And they will have the TuxMat available for this car eventually.
And lollipops. Couple other things. Cup holders, fits a medium good. I don't know if it'll fit a small good because this flap here. Visors. 3, 2, 1.
Yes.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Just
the
like
sliding visors are because of us.
Yes. Just like on the inline 6-cylinder.
I am now remembering this. And is there anything else we want to chat about of this Phev before we get to the price and decide if Phev versus inline is better?
Well, one major thing to some people, which may be enthusiasts, the power. So the power is actually really good in this. I'm going to downshift with, yes, real paddles and real gears. Going to get into the right gear, and the power is great. Like that torque, combined with the torque fill from the EV stuff, which you can also see with a boost meter sometimes below. So if I put it into sport or even normal, you can get at partial throttle, if I'm in automatic, See below the D, boost.
So it's like an electric boost. That's cool.
It is cool, and
You feel it.
It does a good like torque fill. So power wise, I actually don't feel like I'm missing out on much between this and the inline six.
That's what I'm saying. I prefer, like, this just seems like a no-brainer to me.
This does.
But first we gotta get to the price.
Okay, so this one is top trim, $64,700
Canadian.
which is actually slightly more than the inline six-cylinder top trim that we had.
I guess battery tech costs more.
I guess so, because we are technically missing features that we had on the inline six-cylinder. Like, we don't have the super fancy interior. We don't have the lane centering assist stuff. So, like, there are certain things that we don't have. We also don't have the painted plastic cladding, which, you know, it's got to be saved for something.
For what I use it for, like, I would be happy with an electric car because I'm, like, pretty much always just driving around the city for all my little things. And, like, this would be a good middle ground, especially as a CX-5 owner. When a CX-90, if I get like a dog and another kid, then it's like, all right, like that's pretty much no-brainer for me.
Honestly, this is a great car, and I actually think I would pick it over the inline six-cylinder.
Except for I don't want to spend money.
Yeah.
So I keep my CX-5 forever.
Yes, there you go. So let us know which one you guys would pick, inline six-cylinder or four-cylinder plug-in hybrid.